they are going to be your leader for this group, I would like for them to also introduce themselves.
I'm Elsie Funedu.
I'm Davida. I'm Nanaya.
I'm Mercy Akowa.
I'm Vance Jacob.
I'm Sophia.
My name is Majid.
I'm Anthony Fifiatipo.
Okay, so who will be your leaders for this particular group? But I want to ask, is English okay for everybody, or you want us to speak another language? English is okay. Okay, thank you very much. So please, as we introduce ourselves, we want you to also introduce yourself. So please, can you start first? Then it will go around.
I'm Carol Asante. I'm reading accounting and sociology.
I'm Philip, political science.
I'm Joshua Shen. I'm reading nutrition combined with food science.
I'm just reading myself.
I'm Venice. Reading marketing and science.
So please, nice to meet you. Okay, please, I want to thank you for listening to us, giving us your time to come here, and I also want to thank you for at least taking time to go through our flyer to contact us. So please, I want us to be familiar with each other. So I want us to play a game so that we feel comfortable around each other, trust each other. Okay, I want us to be tension. So please, the first game is called 2 truths, 1 lie. So with this particular game, you put out to play it, or okay, let me explain. Okay, you say 3 facts. 2 is supposed to be true, 1 is supposed to be a lie, and your members will detect which one is a lie and which one is true. If you understand. So for instance, my own, let me say, I go to church every Sunday. I go to church every Sunday. I'm a serious student. I have an elder sister. So please, which one do you think is which one do you think is the lie? Which one?
Go to church every Sunday.
Is that a lie? Hey, it's true. I don't go to church every Sunday. Okay, so please, that's how the game will go. So please, Carol, I'm starting with you. So
I attended St. Augustine's College. I'm a resident of Hila Liman. My uncle is Ibrahim.
So please, group members, which one do you think is true? Which one do you think is a lie?
His uncle is Ibrahim Baba.
It's a lie. Oh, okay. So Philemon.
Okay, I eat every day. I'm having $100 million in my account.
Hey!
I'm a student.
Okay. So this which one do you think is a lie? Which one do you think
He's having 100 million.
is lying? Maybe he has to. You know.
I'm lying.
So Joshua.
I ate watching TV. I went to Bukdon Senior High School at 19. I live in Lungwa.
You ate squash. It's a lie.
So
I exercise every morning before going to class. I can dance. My uncle is a lecturer in business.
You dance with your glasses.
so please, which one do we think is a lie? Which one?
She exercises more before going to class.
This isn't true. Do you exercise? Yeah. So just think here.
I eat cake every day. I have a GPA of 1.0 and I'm married.
This is which one do you think is true? Which one? Oh, it's a lie. It's not everything is a lie. You said everything is a lie.
Yeah, all right.
They're all lies.
So some have to be true.
Some must be true and one must be a
I
lie.
thought like you just actually
So if you want, or it's okay, or what? I can see the tension is leaving, but I want us to play another game. This one is not difficult. This one is called the one word game. So with this particular game, like you just say any word you like to describe yourself with. So maybe your first name is C, right? So you look for a word like my first name is M. I would like to describe myself as magnificent. So like any word, you can understand. So
I'm confident.
you are confident. So in class you answer questions in class. And presentations, you present for your class. Okay, please fill me on.
Philosopher.
Philosopher. Joshua.
I'm joyful.
Is Nana here? You are nice. Can you just finish? You are what? Just. Oh. I don't think it's used for just. You are just. Oh, okay. So please, are you now feeling comfortable? Are you okay? Yeah, okay. So please, we are moving on to the next section. We are moving on to the next section, but my group members are going to sit down. I will take over. But my other group member will help me with this part. So please, we are moving on to the next phase of the section. So please, as we told you before, the main purpose of the group is to improve your knowledge about study skills and time management. So please, when you hear study skills and time management, what do you think? What are the goals you want to achieve? I'm sure when you read outside, you were like, I want to achieve something when I come for this meeting. I really want to achieve something. So I want to know what you want to achieve so that you'll be able to develop objectives to help you achieve those goals. So please, can I start with you, Joshua? Do you have any goals you would like to achieve at the end?
I think I want to develop lifelong strategies.
Oh, okay. Lifelong strategies, like lifelong learning strategies. So please, Lanaya, do you have any goal you would like to achieve at the end?
So after all this, I want to be able to prepare effectively for exams.
So, okay. That's good. Just with this same, you want to also prepare effectively for exams. Please, Philemon, do you have any goals?
Developing self-confidence and motivation.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned time management.
Yes.
I want to enhance time management skills.
Okay, I hope we'll be able to help you achieve all your goals. So please, my colleague here will continue.
Okay, so the next page, we will talk about confidentiality. Confidentiality simply means that whatever we share in this room stays in this room. So maybe if we group you people into smaller study groups and you people meet and discuss about how maybe you are going to learn, then if one person says, oh, this particular course, I had an F in it, so I want someone to help me maybe learn for my basics. You should not go out, maybe you know the person, then you go out, hey, this girl, she had an F in this course, so do you know that? Then we'll be discussing whatever you said outside. That does not like speak well of the group. So whatever you speak of, whatever we say here must stay between us. No one outside of this group is to know. However, there are some limitations to confidentiality. Maybe as people are talking and everything, then you want, I want to commit suicide because I'm failing, or I want to kill somebody because the person is wicked or something. Because of those statements you made, we have the right, or any other person is obligated to report so that maybe the person will not die or you will not die. Those are the reasons why we can break confidentiality. So we are moving on. We want to set ground rules. We will not impose any rule on you people. We want us to set it by ourselves so that we will go accordingly to the rules. So Are you okay with the time, the date for the group meeting?
Please start.
Please, is the time and day favorable for all of us for the meeting?
The Saturday 1 o'clock. It's favorable for everybody. So you will be able to make it. So at least every Saturday you take like 30 minutes of your time, maximum 30 minutes. You'll be okay with it.
As we have agreed on the time and date for the meeting, and we hope everyone comes on time, like there should be punctuality, we should be punctual. And if you might, and if you might not be able to come, you need to contact any of the leaders or maybe one member to state the reason why you will not be able to attend the meeting so that we can give you a call and check up on you after the meeting. And must treat each other with respect. You shouldn't maybe laugh or make any funny comments when someone is talking. And you also you have to contribute to the meeting, whatever you have in mind. Don't think that you are not supposed to voice out. You have every right to say if maybe what we are saying you don't understand. You have every right to say, oh please, I don't understand. Ask any kind of question. We will answer you if you have the answer to this. Thank you.
So please, I hope you are all okay with the ground rules. I hope you are not imposing anything on you. You are okay with the ground rules. So please, this group is actually a temporary group. It's not a permanent group. So it will end. This is the first session. It will maybe end on the third session. So please, I wanted to inform you so that you be aware that this group is not a permanent group. It's actually a temporary group. So it will end very soon. So please, I want to thank you for coming today. I want to appreciate you for taking time off your schedule and coming to join us for today's meeting. So I hope to see you next week. All of you, be good health. Okay, bye-bye.
So, good afternoon. Please, am I audible now? Can everyone hear? You can't hear me. Is it better? Okay. So, welcome back. And today, we're going to be treating the first actual. We are getting into the actual discussions on why we joined this group. So I would like to start by asking how your week went. So how was your week? Studies, classes? It was fine. You finished all your assignments, no IEs, nothing like that. No IEs.
Well, I have
A few IEs. Did it go well? No assignment. Hey, why 3 marks? No IEs. Okay. So since your week was fine, so last week my colleague spoke to you about your goals, what you wanted to achieve after the group is terminated. And based on that, we came up with objectives that will help you reach your goal. So I'll read out these objectives. And I'd like to make it clear, today we will be tackling just the first 4 objectives. So my colleague and I'll take the first 2 and then should continue from there. So the objectives are, so based on the goals we discussed last week, we came up with 6 objectives to help you reach your goals. And today we'll be tackling just the first 4 objectives. And next week, God willing, our other colleague will take the other sessions. So I'll take 2 and my colleague will take 2. So I want to read out the 6 objectives so we are all familiar with them. Is that okay? So So the first one would be to teach you guys to prioritize tasks based on importance and deadline. The second one would be to teach active learning techniques such as summarizing notes on your own understanding. The third one would be taking care of yourselves. Taking care of yourselves, not as in the days you decide to bath and not bath. Even though it's personal hygiene and it's important, that's not what we are referring to. We are referring to the hours of sleep you have to have as an individual. You have to sleep for a certain amount of hours so the brain is digested. Yes, that's the taking care of yourself aspect we are talking about, not specifically the personal hygiene aspect. And the fourth one would be to help create a steady schedule, to explain further on the importance of steady schedules, and then to set SMART goals, which will help with your process of studies. Maybe you might have you heard of SMART goals? You haven't, so my colleague will explain that. And finally, to discuss strategies for minimizing distractions. Please, are we all okay with the? Do we think it would actually help? So we'll start the session by talking about the first objective, which is to prioritize the task. So what can you tell me about prioritization of tasks? Any idea? No idea.
Okay, so I think prioritization of tasks is doing or performing the most important tasks first. Yes, so performing the most important tasks first. The ones that are not really important, you perform them later.
So everything you said is right. Prioritizing tasks basically means knowing what to do at what time and which time is suitable for whatever you're doing. I hope I'm making sense. Okay. So there's this method called the Eisenhower matrix. Can we all pronounce it? The Eisenhower matrix. So I want to read the definition so we all understand what it's about. So it is a method of prioritization that helps to categorize tasks based on their urgency and importance. Did we all get it? I should go over. Okay. So I was saying it is a method of prioritization that helps to categorize tasks based on urgency and importance, like you said. Okay. So the method has different levels. So let me read. They're actually in 4 levels. They're also said to be quadrants. So you either say 4 levels or 4 quadrants. So the first one is urgent and important. The second is important but not urgent. The third is urgent but not important. And the fourth is not urgent and not important. So we'll take them one after the other. The first is urgent and important. So based on what we know about this method, what do we think urgent and important entails? Any ideas? Any ideas? Or you'd like me to give an instance?
Yes.
I should give an instance. So with urgent and important, tasks are both urgent and important, as the name implies, urgent and important. So these tasks require immediate attention and have a significant impact on your goals and objectives. Are you getting this now? So urgent and important. So I heard you guys have an upcoming eye. Okay. So in preparation to your IE, taking this first method, urgent and important, what do you think the method is implying if you are connecting to you having an IE coming up soon? Even though you have other assignments and stuff like that. Should I do the connection? Okay. So, urgent and important. You have an IE and you have assignments as well. Your IE is coming up soon, sooner than your deadline for the assignment. So, when you are studying for such, when you find yourself in such a situation, you tackle the situation that comes first. So here, the first one we have here is your IE. So you have your IE before you have the deadline for your assignments. And both of these are important, right? You have to complete your IE, and you have to finish up your assignments and submit before the deadline. But with this case, you are dealing with urgent and important. So your IE is first, meaning you have to prioritize your studies to completing tasks related to the IE. Do you understand? It doesn't mean your assignments are not as important. So maybe you schedule a time for studying for your IE, you schedule a time for studying for assignments. But with your personal views, you can decide to have more time for your IE since it's more urgent and more important because you have that first before you have the IE. Do you understand? So with a situation like this, you have to tackle the IE first before you come down to the assignments. Do you understand? Okay. Do you want to share anything or you have any question based on what I said? You have a question? Yeah. You have a question? We are fine. So the second quadrant is important but not urgent. It says tasks are important but not urgent and should be given second highest priority. So this is saying important but not urgent. We can use the same instance of the IE in the assignment. The assignment is important but it's not urgent. Your IE was urgent, right? So the assignment becomes your second priority. So in this instance, we can apply the important but not urgent quadrants in this situation. So the third one would be urgent but not important. Tasks are urgent but not important should be given the third highest priority. These are tasks that require immediate attention but do not have a significant impact on your goals and objectives. So with this, it says, as I said, let me go over it again so we all get a clear understanding. It says these are tasks that require immediate attention but do not have a significant importance in your goals and objectives. So let me use an instance of getting your shoes soon. Your slipper is torn, right? The slipper is torn and you have to go to class. Class is compulsion, attendance will be taken, everything. You find yourself like in some dilemma, like what do I do? This is my favorite slipper, I want to wear it. If I don't wear it, I'll not go to class. Be very real with yourself. You know it is urgent, like you need it, but it's not as important. You can get another shoe to wear, you can get another slipper to wear. Do you get it? Exactly. This is the last point, which is not urgent and not important. It says these are tasks that do not have a significant impact on your goals and objectives and can be postponed or delegated. The tasks are not urgent and they are not important. So who can give an instance? Not urgent and not important. Any ideas? Like in your daily life, you can use anything else. I should come thinking. You want to give?
what I was thinking about is that maybe we need to buy some, let's say, food stuff from night markets, and then you are going to class. You can get it while coming back. You don't have to go and buy before. Maybe you continue to go to class. So maybe you can. I think I heard something about dedication. You can maybe tell your roommate that, oh, when you go here, can you get me this, so that.
Yeah, I guess it does. Do we all understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll move on to the second objective, which is to teach active learning techniques such as summarizing notes to your own understanding and teaching to your own understanding. So let's talk about summarization. We all know what a summary is. When we study, we all put notes down. Okay, so what can you tell me about making a summary or jotting down the notes? How do you jot it down? What's the process?
If you write the things like the facts that are important first. So let's say you read, maybe you have 10 slides to read, and read the first one. You jot the most important ones and leave those that aren't necessary out. So that's like summarizing.
So as he said, with summarizing your own notes, it doesn't necessarily have to be the entire article you are studying or the entire subject, whatever it is. You just have to get the understanding and put down every important detail you captured. So after that, my personal advice I would like to give on summary is that when summarizing, you don't just take out the things you think are important to you. So you can take the article, send it to a friend and be like, ask me questions based on this topic. Do you understand? Because if you take the article and say you're summarizing in your own words, you might leave out certain important details. So giving it out to a friend to go over it and ask you questions, you like trying to answer them will actually get your mind to certain things that I actually saw this thing, but I don't remember. Meaning you thought it wasn't important, but it turns out it's an important detail you need. Do you understand? So I like to share one of the learning techniques my colleagues and I have been using since level 100, which has really helped us get to where we've got into. So after the summary we just spoke about, I hope you all understand how to make use. So my colleague will continue.
We will talk about taking care of ourselves as students to be able to study effectively and also be in a healthy situation every time. And to start with, it is very important. I would like to elaborate on the importance of taking care of ourselves, because it is very important for our students to take care of ourselves, because considering what you eat, having sufficient and enough every time, your mental well-being and everything that comes with it. It is very important to take care of these things, because if you don't sleep enough, if you don't sleep at the right time, and you don't have enough sleep that you are supposed to get, when you go for class the next day, you feel so tired and exhausted. Even whatever that the lecturer will be teaching, you will not understand it. And besides lectures and everything, your daily activities will be interrupted because you couldn't have enough and sufficient sleep. And when you don't eat well, you're facing some kind of health complications such as stomach aches and everything. So when you get a stomach ache, we all know the experience. We all know how painful it is. You not to be able to concentrate on anything. You will not be able to do anything. Everything will be interrupted and everything. So it is very, very important to mind what we eat or whatever that we take into our body. Is you understand? And considering our mental health too, it is very, very important to prioritize our mental health. We shouldn't let things stress us. And when we find out that you are being stressed by our studies or anything with our external environment, sometimes you have to talk to some people if it is necessary, like counselors, therapists, or anything. Also, you can engage in stressing like activities that will help you to relieve those stress. Some people relieve their stress by listening to music, watching movies, walking around, meditating. You just have to find the best way or the things that will really help you to relieve those stress so that you'll be able to study well and accomplish the goals that you set for the semester. So we will also talk about schedule, study schedule. It is very, very important to have a steady schedule because it will help you to prioritize the things that you are supposed to do. It will help you to succeed academically because every time you know the most important thing that you have to do before you move on to the next step. If you don't have a schedule for yourself, everything that you do doesn't go in line with anything. Just do anything at a point in time that you feel like doing. But if you have a steady schedule, you know that this is the time for this, so I will not do the other. You understand? There may be instances that these things will be interrupted or anything, but it's normal. It's not always that you'll be restricted to do one thing. Sometimes you will not be feeling well and sometimes you have to prioritize your health before you continue to study or something. So then it is very important to also have a schedule for everything, and very, very important to practice so that you follow those steady schedules. So I'd like to talk about some steps that you can take to form a steady schedule. To start with, you have to assess your available time. That is, you have to determine how much time that you have for studying before considering other commitments. Secondly, you have to set specific goals. That is, identifying subjects or topics you need to study and set clear goals. There are some topics that when you go for lectures, lecturer will teach you, you just understand it there and then. So you really, although you have to go back to it, but you wouldn't need to spend much time on those subjects. But you have to spend good number of time on the topics that you don't understand, the ones that you think need much of your time. You have to really focus on that thing. Then you continue with the ones that you know that the moment I read this now, I'll get it. So it's not really necessary to spend much time on those things. That is making like prioritizing one subject over the other, making other topics more important than the other. It is important to break it down. That's another point that we talk about. You have to divide larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks for each study session. So that during each study session, you have to be able to manage all your study sessions. Let's say when today, because you have a study schedule that for today I'll learn social work, tomorrow I'll learn this. When you go, you know that these things that you are doing today that you study social work, you not take like you manage how you study social work so that you really get what you are learning. So that the next day you not go back to that because I didn't do this. Then we continue. It will interrupt your study schedule. You understand? So also we have to be very flexible with our study schedules. You have to make a schedule that will be very, very effective for you. It has to be very, very flexible. It has to be dynamic. Sometimes you don't have to restrict yourself so much to the thing that if you can't do it, you don't have to force yourself to do it. You don't have to, let's say, let's say you have a friend who is a very good student or whatever. Because the friend is able to do this within some few skills, I have to also force myself to do this within some. Your way of learning is different from their way of learning. We all have our own ways, and the time that we can understand some issues. So you don't have to restrict yourself that because I have to do this, I have to get this, so by force, I have to do this. So these are some of the points that you have to consider when making a study schedule for yourself. Thank you very much for coming today as well. Our next session, which is next week, will be our last session, questions and questions. I'd like to meet you guys again. That is all for today. Thank you very much for having me.
So good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you again to this very section. And as you were told last week, this is going to be our last section. And I hope you people have taken into consideration all that we have taught you the past week. We are very glad with the feedback we got from you from some of the IAs you guys wrote last week. And we are happy to know that you are taking what we are teaching you. I had a fun-filled week, and I hope you also enjoyed your week. So today, with the goals you guys brought up and the objectives we gave you, I'll be taking the last objectives. So today we'll be discussing some strategies for minimizing distractions during study sessions. And I came up with 5 tips and strategies to help you. The first strategy, as a student, if you want to study effectively, you find a quiet, steady place or environment. You can do your studies in the reading room, in the library, a peaceful place, even in your homes, your hostels, your halls, that is very peaceful. I know some of you say you are able to study with music, but it's a very bad habit. Studying goes very well and effectively in a peace and a calm environment. The second strategy I'll be giving you today is to create a study schedule. During the past sessions, my colleagues discussed that with you, and I know you people know how to create schedules for your studies. You have timetables for your lectures, and I advise you have same schedules for your personal studies, so you know what you are studying and the time you'll be studying them. So you move to the third strategy. So you take care of your physical needs. In the second section, you also study that. You are able to learn effectively when you have a peaceful mind, you have a calm environment, everything around you is peaceful. So you eat balanced diet, you stay away from troubles, you sleep sound, you don't stay up all night on your phone doing unnecessary things, and then go to class and want studies to be effective. You end up dozing in class and not getting anything that was taught today. And at the end of the day, you waste your whole day yourself. So that will be the next strategy. And I come to the last strategy for today. You organize your study material. As a student, organization should be very important to you. You don't go to the reading room with your books in the room. So you get there and come back to pick a book. You go back and you pick a pencil. So you ensure you have your books, the materials you'll be needing for the study. So taking example, you have social studies to study today. You don't go to the study room in a mathematics book and then later come back for your social studies book. It ends up distracting your studies. Before you get settled, you pick everything you need for the studies, it will be too late. So that is all I will be giving you for today to overcome distractions. My other colleagues will come and take you through.
Okay, so the last objective for our group is to learn SMART goals. So when we say SMART, it's an acronym. The S is for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, and T for timely or time bound. So when we say specific goals, as a student, we are supposed to set a goal that is well defined. Like, you don't just
come up with any goal you know you cannot achieve. So for instance, as a student, I want to graduate with a first class. So you should come up with a goal that you know you can achieve. So what do I want to accomplish? That is my goal. What do I want to accomplish, and when do I want to achieve this goal? So by the time I'm done with this goal, this is what I want to do. So that's for specific. And when we go to measurable, it should your goal should have a criteria. So what are you going to use to measure your progress? So do you check? You check if I'm doing my assignments right. I'm taking part in group assignments. I'm doing my IAs. Then you check if your grades are capable of helping you make your first class. Please, do you understand? Okay. Then the next one is achievable. So achievable goals should be goals that you know you can set. Like, you don't state a goal you know you can. So for instance, you know you're an average student and you say I want to graduate with a first class. You know it's not possible, but then because everyone wants to graduate with a first class, you also want to graduate with a first class, then you make that your goal. So you look at yourself, you find out what you think you can do. If you can graduate with an upper, you go for that. Please, is that okay? Then we go to realistic goals. Our goals should be real. It's just like the achievable, not something you know is ridiculous, like something you cannot do, but because maybe you want to impress somebody, because you want to make the name, then you decide to come up with that goal. Okay. Then we go to our T, that is time bound or timely. So with the time bound, you come up with a time frame with which you want to achieve your goal. So for instance, by the time I'm done with this school, or at the end of this semester, I want to get this grade, I want to get this GPA. Please, do you understand? The time bound, you come up with a time frame with which you want to work. So that is for the SMART goal. So the S is for specific, measurable, then we have achievable, then realistic, and time bound. This is that okay. So as we said last week, we'll be terminating our group today. So I'll invite my colleague to come and take us through the steps.
Hello everyone. So we are very happy with the progress so far. And as the heads up came, we are terminating the group today. So I would like to ask everyone what you have learned from the sections we've had with you. So please, if you want to answer, you raise your hand and you help us.
Okay, so I've learned that I must eat well, I must have a sound mind, I must also sleep well in order for me to be able to concentrate when I go to class.
Thank you very much. Who else? George.
I learned that for you to grab what you're learning faster, you have to learn in a serious
Thank you very much.
Okay, and I've also learned to make a to-do list and then prioritize with the things that are urgent and important at the top, and following with the rest that are less important.
Thank you very much. We are happy you were able to learn something. And then we are happy with the feedbacks you guys brought from your IA. And we know we are positive, you bring positive feedback. We are hoping that the goals you brought personally here have been achieved. And this meeting is going to have a long-lasting impact on you as you go. You'll be leaving a brochure with you that has the contacts of all the group members. So as you go further and you come up with challenges, you can call them for assistance and they will be glad to help you. Also, we know you've learned a lot here. And then you have each other's contact. So if you come up with challenges, we are entreating you all to feel free to contact a colleague. And I'm asking you that when they come to you for support, you open up for them with no critiques. So this is how far we have come. and we are happy we went on this journey with you all. Thank you very much.